Hello, I'm Lee with Stealth Furniture, and I'd like to welcome you to our tutorial video for our Type 1 entry/sofa table. This is a long unit, obviously meant to be either behind a sofa or in an entry area or in a hallway outside your bedroom door, for instance. It's meant for long storage, and yeah, let's get started. Obviously, the first thing that you'll need to do when you take it out of the box is get it unwrapped. It's going to be wrapped with saran wrap and foam and all that type of thing to make sure it gets to you in one piece. This is a very quality, really nice finish, and I don't want you to ruin it with a knife or anything, so I'd like that you just be very, very careful. Take your time. It should come off relatively easy, but yeah, just don't be in a hurry. Take your time getting the wrap off. Once you've done that, it's important that you find a flat surface, a flat, clean surface. I like to assemble mine up high so I don't have to bend over so much, but you can do it on a rug as well. Just make sure that the surface is clean so that you don't scratch the top of your unit. Okay, that being said, the first thing you do at this point would be to open up your aprons, which that's what these are, your little apron doors. And if you've got the magnetic lock option, you really won't have to worry about anything. Just flip it up and it'll be ready to go. I'll explain how to re-engage the lock once we're towards the end of the video. But again, so just simply lift up the apron on that side, and this is our demonstration model. So I've got each type of opening mechanism at one end or the other. This one is the touch latch, which is our standard option. And to get this open, you would just simply push right in the center of the apron. I just encourage you to do that. Be very careful. Don't push too much over on the side or anything, or else you could damage your unit. Simply push on the center and top of the unit. That'll release the latch, and that'll flip right up. And inside, you should find your instructions, which it'll say in the top right-hand corner, Type 1 entry table / hallway / foyer table. And then also you've got your magnetic key, if that is the option that you went with. And again, I'll explain how to use that towards the end. You'll have these little felt sliders for on the bottom of your furniture. If you're putting it on a harder surface, I recommend using these. I just put these in there for your convenience. They're not required, but again, for your convenience, if you decide you want to use them. There'll be a little tube of glue. You'll have a screwdriver, and I just want to explain quickly why I use a screwdriver, or why I include a screwdriver. It's very important that you not use an automatic screw gun of some sort, just simply because it's just so easy to damage your piece. You can easily over-torque it, go through a wall, or snap off a screw head. There's not that many screws. It's maybe a little bit more work, but it's worth it because you can really get a good feel for how hard you're torquing down. So please, that's why I included a screwdriver. No excuse not to use a screwdriver. Thank you. And last but not least, you'll have your screws, which you should have 4 1.25" kind of chrome colored screws, and then you'll have 8 of the black 1.75" screws. So again, you'll have 8 of these, 2 of those for each leg. I'll just set those in the corner now, and then 1 of the chrome ones for each leg, 1 of the 1.25" for each leg. Okay. All right, so that's taken care of. Now let's go ahead and get started assembling this. You'll note on each leg, at the top of each leg, there's a letter. And we've pre-assembled these tables. We are so concerned or interested in this being put together tightly that we don't just throw some legs in there and tell you how to do it. We put it together first and then unassemble it to make sure that it goes together with the tight specifications that we have. So that being said, at the top of each leg there will be a letter, and you'll notice when your table is upside down, in the corner of each, in each corner of the table, there's also a corresponding letter. So this leg, for instance, is letter A. This corner is letter A. The first thing that you're going to do is you'll notice that there's 2 large holes on this extra block, and there's 2 small holes. The small holes are actually the part that go against the apron inside of the unit. So your screws will actually enter through the larger tapered holes. It should be pretty obvious. But the first thing that you'll do is you'll take your leg A. You're going to want to put it into corner A. Since this is a demonstration piece, I'm not actually going to use the glue, but on that part of the block that is the bottom of the L, so to speak, where the two small holes are, you will run just a small, like an 1/8 inch bead of glue. Doesn't have to be a lot of glue, just a little bit. So right there, I'll bring it over here just so you can see. There's two small screw holes on this side here. And again, it's on the inside where there's an L. And on the small block, you'll run about an 1/8 inch bead of glue. Hopefully you can see that. Once that's done, you'll slip this right on in against the apron snug. And you should have about a 1/4 inch reveal right here. And I'll take a couple pictures and pop them on the video so you can see it. Alright, so you take your first screw, which is the 1 3/4 inch screw. I suggest doing the black screws first. Simply insert it into the large hole as I discussed. And take your second one and do the exact same thing. Okay, that should be pretty well square. Now you grab your 1 1/4 inch chrome colored screw, and you'll notice on each of the legs there's a little pocket right here. And that's where those little screws go into. Those 1 1/4 inch screws will drop down into that pocket, and you'll simply snug it up. Again, you don't want to use a manual screwdriver, or excuse me, you want to use a manual screwdriver. Do not use a screw gun of any kind. This will just get your torque down just right. You'll be able to feel what you're doing, and it should just go in nice and snug. Okay, I'm actually going to go through one more leg with you. Okay, so I'm going to do one more leg on this side, and then I'll skip a bunch of stuff out or edit it out so that you don't have to stand here and watch me all day. This corner right here says D. This leg at the top says D, so pretty straightforward. D matches up with D. You grab your bead of glue, and again, you put it down here on this small block section where the bottom of the L is. You just simply run your 1/8 inch bead of glue, like so. Okay, doesn't need to be too much glue, just a little bit. You slide it right on in. Make sure it's snug in the corner. You grab your black screws, and again, they go into the large tapered hole. Just snug it on down. Just want to let you know too that there's some useful tips in our frequently asked questions, or our FAQ section on our website. Things, for instance, of how to care for your wood, what polishes to use, and etc. Do recommend that you visit that site once you've purchased a piece, or actually even before you purchase a piece, if you have any questions about anything, because there's lots of useful information on that particular page, and hopefully should answer just about every question you have before you make a purchase. So again, oops, I forgot to tell you. So again, once you've got those two black screws in, you grab your little chrome screw, and again, it just goes into this little pocket area, and it should just slide right in. Okay, now that I've got that all tightened up, all the legs are in place, everything's looking good. And in this instance, the touch latch, you'll just simply close the apron, push in the center, and that is caught. Again, to open it, just simply push it, and obviously when it's right side up, gravity should open it up for you. But again, just push it and that's closed. And then over here on the magnetic lock side, to actually engage the lock, there's a little red lever that you'll simply push down, and that will engage the toggle up and down. So now it should simply close. And you'll take your magnetic key, which comes along inside the instruction package, and push towards the top of the apron, right center. You'll hear a click, and that means that the lock has disengaged. Okay. So again, listen for the click, and voila. Okay, well, I want to thank you again for your interest in Stealth Furniture and our products. If you have any questions, there is a Contact Us page on the website. Feel free to do so. Yeah, thanks again. We appreciate your time.